and gals. Good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Monday, September the 10th of 2018. This is George Papsloff, Trade Pro Academy. The weather's deteriorated quite significantly here in Toronto. If you look over here to the left, you'll notice out of the window you can't even see out. It's kind of wet and windy, and that's the remnants of Hurricane Gordon. So Mark and I were talking about it on the drive up, and it's crazy that trees are shaking out in Toronto already when this thing broke shore days ago. So hopefully anyone who's been affected by this, hopefully you pulled through and you're safe and sound, and that's all that matters. All right, all of our friends down south. So today we're going to talk about a few things. We're starting the second week of September. This is when you should see some more increased volatility with day trading opportunities. In today's morning market update, we're going to cover Japan's GDP, a Donald Trump tweet, and how that's going to affect Apple. And we're going to talk about China's increasing surplus with the United States, and end it off with legendary founder Jack Ma of Alibaba and what's happening there. All right, so a lot of good updates. First, let's start out the way we usually do. Pull out your passports. We're going to put some stamps in your back pages. We're going to travel the world. In Asia, Japan's up 0.3 of a percentage point. Hong Kong's down 1.3%. China's down 1.2%. And India's down 1.3%. So there's a sell-off across the board in all of Asian equities except Japan. And there's a reason for Japan we're going to get into in a moment. We're going to cover it because it's important. So right across the board. In Europe, at midday, London managed to squeak out a 0.27 gain. Paris is up 0.4%. Frankfurt's up 0.3%. So we're getting a little bit of a recovery from last week's sell-off. So we started the week in the Asian session, and we've transitioned to a little bit more of muted and quiet, but still bullish price action overnight in London markets. In the United States, in the morning, Dow is up 0.3%, S&P's up 0.3%, and Nasdaq's up 0.5 percentage point. Last week, technology stocks were the weakest. This week, they're leading the way out, and you need to know that tech stocks have led the rally since all of pretty much 2010. Since even the 2009 low, tech stocks have been recovering at the strongest pace, primarily Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, known as the FANG. And there's two A's in there, so it's FANG. To watch FANG stocks today and use that as a correlation in your day trading. All right, if FANG stocks are strong, look for more upside. If FANG stocks turn over, they roll over and start getting bearish this morning with heavy volumes flowing in, we're going to look for some short side opportunities. I do think we're going to get a rally early on in the U.S. Open, and then that's going to be faded, and we're going to take the market lower in the late morning and early afternoon to the close. All right, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Crude oil is up 0.5% this morning and currently trading at 68.10 still. 68.11 now bid. 12 offer with some light volume and inventory on the ladder. But it is a Monday. Remember, so far all the trading happens overnight trading and Asian session trading. The real U.S. market hasn't even opened yet for the week. Although the pit has for oil at 9 a.m. Gold prices are down 0.1%. They're getting a little bit weaker. Bitcoin down almost 2% to the low 6,000s, back to a huge support area in the Bitcoin market. And cryptocurrencies and altcoins as well, which are a subset of cryptocurrencies, have suffered because of the Goldman Sachs report. Goldman Sachs then turned around and said that they are not, in fact, canceling plans to have a crypto trading desk. It was a rumor. They just said it's going to take longer. It's not something they're going to do overnight, but they're looking at making a market in the crypto space. So that's a cool thing to know. But crypto still haven't rebounded. All right. This morning, we don't have much news. In fact, we don't have many news events until Wednesday of this week. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be the most active and the highest volume days according to the economic calendar schedule. On Thursday, we have the European Central Bank, the ECB. Mario Draghi is going to do a press conference. Members in the elite team trading room, I'm going to send you an email for this week's extended hours trading schedule. Our elite members get an access to news events. We trade and we open the room outside the regular daily hours to trade with them. And in fact, they have access to each other and they trade online on their own schedules in the room 24/5 around the clock. Anytime they can, they dial in and support one another and trade together. It's the power of a team. All right, let's get into what we have on the calendar. 11:30, Fed's Bostic is going to speak on economic outlook. Then at 3 p.m. we have consumer credit, and that's the major announcements. So slow day. Today could be a little bit more sideways, a little bit lower volume, lower range, and stay in a consolidation type price action. So be aware of that. I'll give you some levels in a moment. China's trade surplus, we're going to cover that because that's the name of the title of the YouTube video. We're going to start there. In August, it reached a record $31.1 billion. All right, on the back of exports climbing. All right, exports climbed at the slowest pace, but imports were not as high. Therefore, it pushed the dollar amount of the trade imbalance to the highest level yet. And that's interesting because it comes at a time that Donald Trump is planning to add a lot of tariffs on Chinese goods. In fact, the U.S. has already put tariffs on $50 billion worth of goods imported from China. Donald Trump has a plan with another $200 billion that's in the works. It's set to go into play in the next couple weeks. And he's announced an additional $267 billion worth of goods to put tariffs on. If you're wondering what percentage of China's exports that accounts to, it's 100%. Donald Trump's effectively putting a tariff on every dollar worth of goods that goes out of the country. All right. What has China done to combat that? They've devalued their yuan. So if somebody says, look, you're going to have to, as a company in the U.S., if you want to import Chinese goods, if you don't want to buy American-made products, you want to import from China, you're going to have to pay a 10% tariff. And if the yuan devalues by 10%, it doesn't matter because the currency is cheaper. Those goods are going to cost you less. All right, which in essence is what the United States was mad about to begin with, the devaluation of the yuan. So this thing is just spiraling down. All right, it's like two people that start arguing, and you know what it's going to lead to. In traffic. One guy gets out of the car, you know what's happening next. So that's kind of what's driving the market. Look for any tweets today, any news items that comes out of either China or the United States. I got a feeling today we're going to trade slow, and there's an opportunity for a tape bomb. What's a tape bomb? A news event that severely impacts the market. So listen to the news wires or be in a trading environment like ours because we keep you informed on that stuff. All right, Donald Trump tweeted this weekend. Not a weekend goes by that Donald Trump doesn't tweet us a couple times. This weekend, he tweeted the following. Apple said that the new proposed tariffs would affect prices for a wide range of products. Watch, the AirPods, which are the headphones, and their Beats headphones are going to be impacted the most from these new tariffs from China. What did Donald Trump say? He said if Apple wants to avoid tariffs on Chinese imports, it should produce all its stuff in the United States. So here's the question. If your Apple iPhone, and I mean, look at the Apple iPhone. It's the latest iPhone. What is the market? $1,400, $1,300 for a freaking phone. All right. That's a mortgage payment in some places. So if your iPhone costs $3,000, would you buy it? That's the question. I'd love for you guys to answer in the comment section. And this isn't a rhetorical question. Let's say $2,000. Would you pay $2,000, $2,300? Would you pay 30% more for your Apple iPhone if it was manufactured in the United States? That's the real question. No need to be patriotic here. Just think about it as a consumer, all right? And be real. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Would you pay 30% more for the same product if it was made in the U.S.? It'll be stamped made in the United States of America in the back. All right. What else? That's kind of what caused the Asian markets to drop. Why was Japan strong? I'll tell you why. Their Q2 GDP came out at 3% versus an expectation of 1.9. Huge beat in gross domestic product, the strongest number in 11 years out of Japan. And that's on the back of a tightening labor market, a better jobs market, better employment conditions in Japan, more economic activity. All right. And so that's kind of what's pushed the Japanese stock market higher, despite the fact that all Asian markets have been lower and weaker. Now, here's the thing you need to know. Usually we use the Japanese yen as an inverse correlation, which means if the yen's going up, that means what? Markets are probably going to go down because yen's a safe haven asset. The Japanese yen is where a lot of institutional money goes to park their cash in times of fear. But given that GDP was so strong, today you got to take away from the importance of that Japanese yen. All right, that's very important. It loses a little bit of its correlatory strength. So be informed about that because if you see it ripping today and you're starting to fade stocks, it's not a good idea. And we'll keep you posted in the trade room as well. Today, we're going to watch FANG as a correlatory market, and we're going to notice early on movements and then hitch your boat to that and make some money. That's what we do. All right. Last but not least, for today's morning market update, they're going to turn around to the trading room and draw some levels for you guys. Jack Ma is exiting Alibaba. He's done. He's currently 54 years old, all right? And he made the announcement on Monday. That was his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jack Ma. I know you're watching this morning update, so please put a comment in there and say thanks. He's contemplated his exit for quite some time. All right, he wanted to exit the company. Now it's official. The current CEO is, I want to get the name right. Daniel Zhang is the current CEO of Alibaba, and he started Singles Day in China, an amazing phenomenon where it's actually genius. So if you're single, don't let somebody buy something for you. You get it yourself. Treat yourself to the type of gift that you want. Huge shopping holiday. Alibaba does a ton of sales on that day, and Daniel Zhang's the creator of it. So it's not a huge transition for Alibaba, but look for that stock to potentially have a little bit of weakness. It's BABA. That's the ticker symbol on this news. It's official. The market's expected it. But look at the chart and see if there's a trading opportunity. You're going to get some infusion of volatility on this news. All right, he's going back to teaching and philanthropy work. That's what he said. That's what we got for you guys today. It's going to be a slow day or slower day in the market. Volatility won't pick up till Wednesday, Thursday. It'll be rampant then. For now, follow the 3 rules to start. You never want to start the week loaded with your maximum amount of contracts you could take. You always want to start slowly. If there's opportunity, work your way up to that opportunity. If there isn't, trade slower and smaller. All right. So basically, take less trades, less contracts per trade this morning, and take your profits and losses much quicker than you normally would. All right. That's what I got for you guys this morning. I hope you enjoyed the morning market update. If you enjoyed it or if you liked it, guess what? YouTube made a button for that. Hit the like button. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you for being here this morning. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Now I got to turn around and draw some levels in our trading room and get set for a wildly successful trading day. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye. All right, trade pros, let's map out some levels and focus on our next best trade opportunity here for the day. As I mentioned, there's an expectation of a slow session. However, if